The fifth luminous mystery is the institution of the Eucharist at the Last Supper. And there are so many things that could be said about the Eucharist. Like, I could go on and on for the next year of morning minutes every single day talking about the Eucharist and not exhaust the riches of the greatest gift that God gives us. And so I was walking along here still in Glacial Park and praying through the Eucharist and what should I pray about. And I saw this little path. You can see this, and you've probably seen the other paths I'm walking up, which are, more, you can see part of a path here I was walking along. This is just this tiny little kind of overgrown path. And I was like, I'm going to see where this leads. So I made my way through, and all of a sudden I started to see this fence. And I'm like, what is this area? And so I kept walking. And there are grave markers. So just out in the middle of this park, right, walking through this little, off the beaten path trail is a little cemetery. Okay, that's kind of cool. I'm like, all right, Lord, what are you trying to say? And right away I was like, okay, I know why the Lord had me come as I'm going to talk about the Eucharist when we're here in this little cemetery. And I may have said this before in a morning minute, but you know what? The Lord made it abundantly clear this is what he wants me to talk about. And it kind of goes into what I was saying earlier with the kingdom of heaven being among us, that we're with the Lord here, and at the same time the Lord is in heaven. Well, when it comes to the Eucharist, here on earth, that is Jesus' presence. Body, blood, soul, and divinity. It doesn't just represent Jesus, it is Jesus. Body, blood, soul, and divinity. It is the living life and presence. It is Jesus, right? And so, if I here on earth am in adoration, and I'm spending time with Jesus in the Eucharist, I'm with Jesus. At the very same time, Jesus is in heaven, present. Body, blood, soul, and divinity. He's in heaven. And which means that he's with all the angels and saints, right? And what are saints? They're members of our human family, right? Human beings like us who have made it to heaven. Those are the saints. Which means that your great-great-grandparents, your great-grandparents, your grandparents, if you have parents, siblings, even if you have children, aunts or uncles, nieces, nephews, brothers, sisters, friends that have passed and are in heaven with the Lord. If I am here, let's say a guy named Bob, right? If I am spending time with a friend of mine named Bob, and Bob is spending time with a friend of mine named Mark, what does that mean for myself and Mark, right? If I'm with Bob and Mark's with Bob, well then through Bob being present with him, it means that I'm present with Mark. So if I'm spending time with Jesus and up in heaven, the saints are spending time with Jesus through spending time with Jesus. For us in the Eucharist, for them, Jesus in heaven, but it's the same Jesus, we're actually spending time with them. So anyone that we love, anyone that we miss, we're able to, if we go and we spend time with Jesus in the Eucharist, to see the Eucharist truly as this window, as this gateway. And it's not just an analogy. This is true. This is reality. That through Jesus, we are actually present with our loved ones. So if you, and this is the gift of the Eucharist, one of the gifts, so many gifts. So I beg you and I encourage you, if you're struggling at the loss of a loved one, whether it was something that's happened recently, maybe within the last couple of days or week, months, couple years, or if it's been 50, 60, 70, 80 years, no matter what it is, you can spend time with them through spending time with Jesus in the Eucharist. It's such an amazing gift. And it's because God loves us. Don't know if I've told you that before. So God loves you. He loves you so much. So draw close to him in the Eucharist and know that in doing so, you're also in turn drawing close to your loved ones who have gone before you. Have an amazing day, and I hope you're able to spend it with some of your loved ones. God bless you.